Stop. Don't quit now. You're not stuck. You're right at the edge. Most people give up at the exact moment things are about to change. Not because they're weak, but because it gets the hardest right before the breakthrough. That pressure you feel, that doubt, that urge to stop, it's not a sign to quit. It's proof you're getting close. Think about it. How many times have you walked away just one step before success? One more try, one more push, one more day. In this video, I'm going to show you why you feel like quitting right now, what it really means, and how to push through this exact moment so you don't miss the life that's literally waiting on the other side. Stay with me, this might be the turning point. There comes a moment in every journey where everything feels like it's falling apart. Your energy drops, your motivation disappears, doubt gets louder than belief, and suddenly the same dream that once excited you now feels heavy. This is what most people call a breaking point. But here's the truth no one tells you: this isn't where things end. This is where things begin to change. The breaking point is not a sign that you've gone too far. It's a sign that you've come far enough. Think about it. Every time you try to level up in life, whether it's building a career, growing a channel, improving your mindset, or chasing a dream, you will face resistance. Not small resistance, real pressure. Because growth demands a version of you that you haven't fully become yet. And that gap between who you are and who you're becoming, that's where the breaking point shows up. Most people misunderstand this moment. They think, maybe this isn't for me. Or, maybe I'm not good enough. Or worse, maybe I should just quit. But what they don't realize is they are standing at the edge of transformation. This is the exact moment where things start to shift internally before they ever show externally. It's like a seed underground. From the outside, it looks like nothing is happening. But beneath the surface, everything is changing. Roots are growing, strength is building, expansion is happening silently. The problem is people quit because they can't see it yet. They walk away not because they failed, but because they didn't wait long enough to win. The breaking point is a test, not of your talent, not of your intelligence, but of your commitment. It asks you one simple question: will you stop because it's hard, or will you continue because it matters? And this is where the real difference is made. Anyone can start when it's exciting. Anyone can work when they feel motivated. But only a few can continue when everything inside them is telling them to stop. That's why success is rare, not because it's impossible, but because most people leave too early. The pain you feel at the breaking point isn't there to destroy you. It's there to reshape you, to stretch your limits, to force you to grow into someone stronger, more focused, and more disciplined. Because the truth is, the version of you that can handle success is built in these exact moments. Not when things are easy, not when everything is going your way, but when you're tired, frustrated, doubting, and still choosing to move forward. That's the turning point. The moment you decide, I'm not stopping here. And something powerful happens when you make that decision. Your mindset shifts, your energy changes. You stop looking for reasons to quit and start finding reasons to continue. And once you cross that mental line, everything else follows. Opportunities start to appear. Ideas become clearer. Confidence builds. Not because the situation changed, but because you did. So the next time you feel like you've hit your limit, pause for a second. Don't run away from that feeling. Recognize it, understand it. Because you're not breaking down. You're breaking through. And on the other side of that moment is the life you've been working for. Right when you're about to do something big, something uncomfortable, something that could actually change your life, a voice shows up. Maybe this isn't the right time. What if you fail? What if people judge you? Let's just wait. Let's just stop. And it feels real. It feels logical. It even sounds like you. But here's the truth. This voice is not your enemy, but it's also not your guide. It's your mind trying to protect you. Your brain is designed for survival, not success. Its main job is simple: keep you safe, keep you comfortable, and avoid anything unfamiliar. Thousands of years ago, this system helped humans stay alive. But today, that same system is holding you back from growth because your mind doesn't know the difference between danger and discomfort. To your brain, starting a YouTube channel, speaking in front of people, taking a risk, or chasing a dream, it all feels like a threat. Not because it's actually dangerous, but because it's unknown. And the unknown is where your brain panics. So what does it do? It creates fear. It creates doubt. It creates hesitation. Not to harm you, but to keep you exactly where you are. That's why right before a breakthrough, your mind gets the loudest. It throws every excuse it can find. It reminds you of your past failures. It makes you question your abilities. It tells you to slow down, to wait, to quit. And if you don't understand what's happening, you'll believe it. You'll think, maybe I'm not ready. Maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe this just isn't for me. But that's not truth. That's protection disguised as logic. Your mind would rather keep you in a familiar struggle than risk an unfamiliar success. Think about that. It would rather you stay stuck in something you don't like just because it's predictable, because at least it knows what to expect. Growth, on the other hand, requires uncertainty. It requires stepping into something new, and your brain hates that. So it lies, not maliciously, not intentionally, but automatically. It tells you stories that feel safe, but keep you small. This is why awareness is power. The moment you realize this fear is just my mind trying to protect me, everything changes. Now, instead of reacting to fear, you can observe it. You can say, I see what's happening. This isn't danger. This is growth. And that small shift changes everything. Because now you're not controlled by your thoughts. You're in control of your decisions. You stop asking, how do I feel? And start asking, what do I want? And those two questions lead to very different lives. People who follow their feelings stay stuck. People who follow their decisions move forward. This doesn't mean the fear disappears. It doesn't. Even successful people feel doubt. Even confident people feel resistance. The difference is they don't listen to it. They understand it. They expect it. And they move anyway. Because they know something most people don't. Fear is not a stop sign. It's a signal that you're stepping outside your comfort zone, a signal that you're doing something that matters, a signal that you're growing. So the next time your mind tells you to stop, pause. Don't blindly obey it. Question it. Ask yourself, is this real danger or just discomfort? And if it's just discomfort, lean into it. Because on the other side of that fear is the life your mind is too scared to let you see. One of the biggest reasons people quit is because they don't see results fast enough. You put in the effort, you stay consistent, you try again and again, and nothing seems to change. No big wins, no clear signs, just silence. And slowly, that silence turns into doubt. Is this even working? Am I wasting my time? Maybe I'm not meant for this. And that's where most people stop. Not because they failed, but because they couldn't see the progress happening. But here's the truth. Real progress is often invisible until it's undeniable. Think about how growth actually works. It's not loud. It's not instant. It doesn't happen in big dramatic moments. It happens quietly, slowly, and consistently beneath the surface. Like a seed planted in the ground. When you plant a seed, you don't see anything for days, sometimes weeks. You water it, you take care of it, but from the outside it looks like nothing is happening. But underground, everything is changing. Roots are forming, strength is building, the foundation is growing deeper and stronger, and that process is necessary before anything can rise above the surface. Your life works the same way. Every time you show up, even when you don't feel like it. Every time you try again, even after failing. Every time you push forward, even without results. You are building something internally. Your discipline is growing. Your mindset is shifting. Your skills are improving. But because you can't see it immediately, your mind assumes it's not working. And that's the trap. We've been conditioned to expect fast results, instant feedback, quick success. But real transformation doesn't follow that timeline. It follows a deeper process, one that rewards consistency, not impatience. The dangerous part is this progress feels the slowest, right before it speeds up. There's a phase where it feels like you're stuck, like you're going in circles, like nothing is changing. But in reality, you're getting closer to a breakthrough. And then suddenly, things click. Your content starts getting views. Your confidence feels natural. Your results begin to show. And people from the outside will say, wow, that happened fast. But they didn't see the invisible phase, the quiet effort, the unseen growth. That's where the real work was done. Most people quit in that invisible phase. They walk away right before things become obvious, right before the results show up, right before everything they worked for finally starts to pay off. Not because they couldn't do it, but because they couldn't wait for it. So the real question is, can you trust the process even when you can't see the progress? Can you keep showing up without immediate reward? Can you stay consistent without validation? Because that's what separates those who succeed from those who stop. Progress is not always visible, but it is always happening if you're putting in the work. You may not notice it day to day, but over time, it compounds. Small efforts turn into big results. Tiny improvements turn into massive changes. And one day, you look back and realize you weren't stuck. You were building. So don't let silence fool you. Don't let slow progress discourage you. Because what feels invisible today will become undeniable tomorrow. Let's be honest, nobody likes pain. We avoid it, ignore it, and do everything we can to escape it. The moment things get uncomfortable, we slow down. When it starts to hurt, we question everything. And when it becomes too much, we think about quitting. But what if pain isn't something to run from? What if it's actually a sign that you're growing? Here's the truth. Pain is not your enemy. Pain is feedback. It shows up when you step outside your comfort zone. It appears when you challenge your limits. It intensifies when you're becoming someone new. Think about it like this. Every level of your life requires a different version of you, and that version doesn't appear automatically. It's built through pressure, through effort, through discomfort. That uncomfortable feeling you get when you try something new, that frustration when things don't go your way, that mental struggle when you want to stop but keep going, that's expansion happening in real time. But most people misinterpret it. They feel pain and assume something is wrong. They think, this is too hard, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. So they go back to what's easy, what's familiar, what feels safe. And in doing that, they stop growing. Because comfort doesn't create progress. Comfort maintains what you already have. Growth only happens when you stretch beyond what feels normal. Just like a muscle in the gym. When you work out, your muscles don't grow because it's easy. They grow because you challenge them. You push them past their current limit, and that creates tension, resistance, even pain. But that pain isn't damage, it's development. It's the same with your mindset, your discipline, your success. When you're building something, whether it's your confidence, your career, your content, or your identity, you're going to feel pressure. There will be days when you doubt yourself, moments when you feel tired, times when you question if it's worth it. That's not a sign to stop. That's a sign you're evolving. Because if you never feel discomfort, you're not changing. And if you're not changing, you're staying exactly where you are. The pain you feel is the gap between your old self and your new self. It's the process of letting go of old habits, old beliefs, and old limits, and stepping into something greater. And that process is never easy, but it's always worth it. Here's where your mindset has to shift. Instead of asking, why is this so hard? Start asking, what is this trying to teach me? Instead of seeing pain as a problem, see it as a signal that you're pushing forward, a signal that you're breaking barriers, a signal that you're getting closer to the next level. Because the truth is, the life you want will require a stronger version of you. And that strength is built through discomfort, through showing up when you don't feel like it, through continuing when it gets tough, through staying committed when it hurts. That's where real growth happens. So the next time you feel pain, pause. Don't run from it. Don't label it as failure. Recognize it. Say to yourself, this is part of the process. This is me expanding. And keep going, because what feels uncomfortable now is building the version of you that can handle everything you've been asking for. Most people don't fail because they're incapable. They fail because they stop too early, right before something works, right before the breakthrough, right before things finally start to shift. There's always a moment where it feels pointless to continue. You feel tired. You feel stuck. You feel like nothing is changing. And your mind tells you, that's enough. You've tried enough. So you stop. But what you don't realize is you were one more effort away. One more try. One more video. One more push. One more day of not giving up. That's the difference between people who succeed and people who almost did. Success doesn't always come from doing something huge or extraordinary. Most of the time, it comes from doing one small thing, just a little longer than everyone else. Think about it like this. Imagine you're digging for gold. You've been digging for days. Your hands are tired. Your energy is low. You haven't found anything yet. So you stop and walk away. But what if the gold was just a few inches deeper? That's how life works. Opportunities, breakthroughs, and results are often hidden just beyond the point where most people give up. And because they quit early, they never find out how close they actually were. This is why persistence is so powerful. It's not about being perfect. It's not about having everything figured out. It's about continuing, especially when it doesn't feel like it's working. Because momentum builds quietly. Every effort you make, every attempt, every failure, every lesson, it all stacks up. Even when you don't see immediate results, you're getting closer. Closer to understanding, closer to improvement, closer to success. But that final step, the one that changes everything, only comes to those who don't stop. And here's the reality, no one can predict which effort will be the one. You don't know if it's the next video, the next idea, the next decision, or the next attempt. That's why quitting is so dangerous. Because the moment you stop, you eliminate the possibility of that next breakthrough. But the moment you continue, you keep the door open. And sometimes that one extra effort creates a chain reaction. One video goes viral. One opportunity opens a new path. One decision shifts your entire direction. And suddenly, everything changes. From the outside, it looks like luck. But in reality, it's persistence finally paying off. The truth is, success is not about doing 100 steps. It's about doing 99 steps and then having the courage to take one more. When everyone else is tired, you keep going. When everyone else is doubting, you keep believing. When everyone else stops, you take that final step. That's where the magic happens. So the next time you feel like quitting, remember this. You don't need a massive breakthrough right now. You don't need perfect conditions. You don't need more motivation. You just need one more effort, one more action, one more attempt, one more push forward. Because that one more might be the moment everything changes. And if you stop now, you'll never know how close you really were. There's a word that sounds positive, but secretly keeps people stuck. That word is trying. I'm trying to succeed. I'm trying to stay consistent. I'm trying to change my life. It sounds good. It sounds like effort. But if you look closely, trying has no power. Because when you try, you leave space to quit. Trying is uncertain. Trying is optional. Trying says, I'll do it if it feels right, if it works out, if it's easy enough. And that's why most people stay where they are. Because trying doesn't create results, deciding does. A decision is different. A decision is final. A decision cuts off excuses. A decision says, no matter what happens,